High atop a rugged cliff, overlooking the tumultuous sea, stood the portside lighthouse. It was a serene place during the day, guiding ships to safety, but as the sun set, darkness wrapped itself around the isolated beacon. The lighthouse keeper, Thomas, was a solitary figure, keeping the light alive and the world's darkness at bay. One stormy night, as the waves crashed violently against the cliffs, a group of hikers sought refuge in the lighthouse. Seeking shelter from the tempest outside, they stumbled upon a shocking sight, the lifeless body of a young woman lying at the foot of the lighthouse tower. Panic and fear spread through the group as they realized they were in the midst of a horrifying crime scene. News of the grisly discovery reached Detective Emma Walsh, a seasoned investigator with an impressive track record in solving complex cases. Intrigued by the remote location of the crime scene, she headed to Portside Lighthouse to take charge of the investigation. As Detective Walsh examined the crime scene, she noticed an eerie pattern emerging. The victim was the first in a series of murders that bore a striking resemblance to a set of unsolved cases from years ago. It became apparent that a serial killer had resurfaced, using the lighthouse as a haunting backdrop for their crimes. As the investigation deepened, Detective Walsh and her team began to piece together the puzzle of the Lighthouse Murders. They discovered that the original lighthouse keeper, Thomas, had mysteriously disappeared many years ago, and his connection to the past cases became undeniable. Could he have been the elusive killer all along? With the body count rising, the pressure on Detective Walsh intensified. As she delved deeper into Thomas's past, she uncovered a web of secrets that shrouded the lighthouse's history. The small coastal community, once considered peaceful, was now engulfed in fear and paranoia. Through old records and long-forgotten testimonies, Detective Walsh uncovered the chilling truth. Thomas had indeed been the murderer in the past, but he vanished without a trace before he could be apprehended. Someone had taken up his gruesome legacy, meticulously imitating his modus operandi. The investigation reached its climax as Detective Walsh faced the killer head-on. The stormy night mirrored the night when the first victim fell from the lighthouse tower, heightening the sense of dread. A thrilling and dangerous pursuit through the labyrinthine corridors of the lighthouse ensued, with lives hanging in the balance. In a tense and dramatic showdown, Detective Walsh managed to overpower the killer. As she unmasked the culprit, the truth turned out to be even more shocking than anyone could have imagined. The real culprit was someone close to Thomas, seeking revenge for a past injustice. With the killer behind bars, the coastal community found solace in the fact that the terror had come to an end. The Portside Lighthouse was no longer a symbol of fear, but of resilience and justice. Detective Walsh, exhausted yet satisfied, left the town with a sense of closure and a glimmer of hope for the future. In the aftermath of the Lighthouse Murders, Detective Walsh found herself haunted by the case. The images of the victims and the dark secrets of the coastal community continued to plague her thoughts, even as she returned to her normal life. The experience had left a profound impact on her, and she struggled to find peace. Although the killer was caught and justice served, some questions remained unanswered. Detective Walsh couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the story than what had been revealed. The motive behind the copycat killings troubled her the most. Was it merely revenge, or was there something deeper and more sinister at play? Several weeks after the case was closed, Detective Walsh received an anonymous letter in the mail. It was handwritten, the words smeared and barely legible. The sender claimed to have crucial information about the Lighthouse Murders that had been overlooked. Skeptical but intrigued, Detective Walsh arranged a secret meeting to learn more. The informant turned out to be an elderly woman who had lived in the coastal town for decades. Fearful of retaliation, she requested to remain anonymous. She revealed that she had been close to Thomas, the original lighthouse keeper, and had seen the dark transformation that occurred within him. According to the informant, Thomas had made a pact with a malevolent force that resided within the lighthouse itself. In exchange for power and prosperity, he was bound to carry out the sinister bidding of this malevolent entity. The informant believed that the evil spirit had somehow survived and continued to influence the actions of others in the town. Detective Walsh's skepticism wavered as she delved deeper into the town's history. Old documents and local legends hinted at a malevolent presence connected to the lighthouse long before Thomas's time. Could there be truth to the informant's claims? Or was it just a tale to justify the unexplainable horrors that had occurred? As Detective Walsh dug into the lighthouse's past, she discovered hidden passages and cryptic writings on its walls. The eerie atmosphere within its walls seemed to corroborate the informant's story. But the deeper she went, the more she felt as though the malevolent entity was watching her, its presence palpable even in the daytime. Unable to shake the feeling of being drawn into the darkness, Detective Walsh enlisted the help of a renowned paranormal investigator. Together, they conducted a chilling overnight vigil inside the lighthouse, hoping to make contact with the malevolent force and finally put the town's haunting past to rest. As the night unfolded, the investigator sensed a sinister presence. Whispers echoed through the corridors, and a cold, malevolent aura enveloped them. The lighthouse seemed alive, its walls seemingly breathing with an otherworldly energy. In the midst of the chilling encounter, the investigator managed to capture eerie EVP, electronic voice phenomena, recordings. Armed with their findings and the knowledge of the entity's origin, Detective Walsh and the investigator devised a daring plan. They performed a ceremonial ritual to break the malevolent spirit's hold on the lighthouse and the town. The confrontation was intense, but the spirit's grip slowly weakened and its dark presence began to fade away. As the first rays of dawn illuminated the horizon, the oppressive aura that had plagued the lighthouse for generations finally dissipated. The malevolent entity had been banished, and the lighthouse stood tall as a symbol of hope and renewal once more. Detective Walsh left the coastal town, knowing that she had confronted not only a human killer but an ancient evil that had tormented the area for centuries. Though the scars of the Lighthouse Murders would always remain, the town could now heal and rebuild, no longer overshadowed by the darkness that once lurked within its beacon of light. Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey into the unknown. If you like my video, then please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and write your opinion into the comments section. Until next time, take care, stay curious, and keep exploring the mysteries of the world.